So now let's talk about mesoderm. Okay, so the mesoderm, it is divided into two parts. If the mesoderm is in second week, we call it extraembryonic mesoderm. If it is in the third week, then we call it intraembryonic mesoderm. Now we are talking about third week, so we are going to talk about intraembryonic mesoderm. And intraembryonic mesoderm is further divided into three parts: paraxial, intermediate mesoderm, and lateral plate mesoderm. Okay, so if we see in this diagram, it is our paraxial mesoderm. This red one is our intermediate mesoderm, and this lateral side we have lateral plate mesoderm. Okay, so intermediate means it is in the middle, paraxial along the axis, and lateral plate means it is at the lateral side. Now if we talk one by one, our first is intraembryonic mesoderm. It is intermediate mesoderm and it forms two structures, nephrogenic cord and genital ridge, which ultimately gives in adults becomes kidney, and genital ridge becomes gonads. So if we combine both these, then it forms our urogenital system. Okay, so our intermediate mesoderm will form our urogenital tract. Then if we talk about paraxial mesoderm, so as we can see in this diagram, it is alongside the our notochord. So this is our notochord, and these spherical ball-like structures, these are called somites. Okay, so paraxial mesoderm forms somites, which are spherical ball-like structure, and it form somites have three parts: dermatomes, sclerotome, or myotome. Dermatomes, it forms dermis of back. Sclerotome, it forms axial skeleton, means our ribs vertebrae. And myotome is muscles, and it forms muscle, and it is again divided into two parts: epiaxial and hypoaxial. Epiaxial, it forms true back muscles or back muscles, and hypoaxial forms, hypo means below, it forms limb, abdominal, and intercostal muscles. Okay, so these are derived from paraxial mesoderm, and opposite to that, our lateral plate mesoderm form dermis of in this paraxial mesoderm, dermatomes form dermis of back. In the lateral plate, dermis of front is formed. In there we have formed axial skeleton, but in the lateral plate mesoderm, it forms appendicular skeleton. And we have, for the formation of muscles, we have formed our skeletal muscles, but the remaining two smooth and cardiac muscles are formed in the lateral mesoderm, lateral plate mesoderm. So if we can remember paraxial mesoderm, then we can do the opposite, and we can apply this in the lateral plate mesoderm formation.